What is up, everybody? You know who it is. It's Soto with the Autumn Windbags. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you see it, it's just me today. RJ is a working man, as I am, but his job takes him all over the country, all over the world, all over the universe. And today, he just couldn't be bothered to come on and do this Jaguars preview, week 9. Um, Coming off of a dismal game against New Orleans, what are our boys going to have to do to get the ball rolling and get back in this hunt? First off, I want to start off and say, everybody, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. That way you know whenever we go live, whenever we drop a new video, you'll be able to watch it right away. Make sure you comment, like, don't like, whatever. You hate me, you love me, you hate RJ, you hate RJ. Either way, let us know. We're here for making this content for you guys. All right. So now that that's out of the way, we're favored by 2 points. And when you take a look at it from the outside, we should be favored because I believe we're the better team. The issue is we haven't played like it. If you look at the numbers, it's a pretty close little matchup. Yards per game, touchdowns, interceptions from the quarterbacks, all that stuff is fairly even if you look at a per game basis. And you take a look at, stats across the board. We have Adams, they have Kurt. The numbers aren't too far off. We have Jacobs, they have Etienne. Now they have Etienne in a different role. He was sharing time a little bit with Robinson, and now that he's going to be the lead back 100%, he's a dynamic kid, man. We're scoring 23.3 points a game. We're giving up 24.9 points per game. Jacksonville scores 21.5. They only give up 20, so it's very close in both respects, and the records are close: 2-5, 2-6. There's no easy way to put it. This, in the beginning of the year, this looked like a slam dunk win. Now it's going to be a fight. I don't think it's going to be. I'll hear a lot of chatter on a Raiders talk and Twitter and stuff like that. Oh, we're going to stomp these guys. We're going to this and that. Well, as inconsistent as they've been playing, we've been just as inconsistent. As many bad teams as they've lost to, we've lost to some bad teams as well. But I do think there's a glimmer of hope because I do feel like the team that has the better players wins a majority of the time. But it's how you use those players and also how you execute. We're going to take a look at some of these keys to success, to victory. Right now, here are my 5 keys to victory. Looking at some tape, looking at the numbers, these are the 5 things I feel like if we do these 5 things, we should be able to win this game. Number 1, it's pretty simple. I think we all agree. We got to leave last week behind. Last week was last week. It happened. Let's just move on. I saw the tape. I saw 3 different tape breakdowns of plays, and the consensus was there was some issues schematically, offensively. There was some issues, one big issue, one glaring issue, blocking scheme-wise. But the bulk of the issue that we had came down to execution. I know some people are going to want to blame our roster. They're going to want to blame the coaches and all this stuff. And there is some blame to be spread around. Don't get me wrong. But when you take a look at the game tape, you see that execution is the killer of victories. If you have poor execution, doesn't matter who's out there, doesn't matter who's coaching, Doesn't matter if you're home or away. If you can't execute, then you're not going to win. And unfortunately, we had some poor jobs executing offensively and defensively. It's becoming more and more apparent that Denzel Perryman just shouldn't be on the field that much for the threat of a passing play. He was one of the main culprits last week, especially that Alvin Kamara had a huge game. But again, we have to learn from those mistakes and move forward. For right now, I'm saying just wash it out of your brain. Focus on executing the game plan this week. Leave last week behind. All right. Now that the psychological is taking over, let's just take a look at what we have to do on the field. Number one, we have to take control of early downs. It's no secret that we're at our best when we're running the football effectively, right? We get ourselves in manageable third downs or not even have to go third downs, moving the ball down the field on first and second down. The way we can do that is by taking control of early downs, by running the football effectively with Josh Jacobs. The New Orleans Saints did something very interesting where they would load the line of scrimmage and you didn't know who was coming and who wasn't. So they were set for running plays, but if it was a passing play, the people that were in pass coverage just bailed out and were able to get to their spots. Hopefully we've learned and we've cooked up a few more, maybe a quick passing plays, maybe some more screens, stuff like that, to be able to assist and kind of deter a defense from pulling that same thing, because it's a copycat league. If a defense finds something that works against an offense, they're going to want to do it as well. So loading up every spot on the line of scrimmage, loading up every gap, and if it's a run play, they'll just shoot their gap, and if it's a pass play, you'll rush your 4 and drop everyone else back, and it's very confusing. Also, it's really good on stopping the run, but we need to be better than that. We need to execute properly our run blocking, and we need to make sure we get Josh Jacobs going early and often. My man is averaging 5.6 yards a carry this year. He's a beast. He's I think 1 or 2 in the NFL in yards after contact. This guy's got 6 touchdowns this year. This guy's a straight baller. We got to make sure we get him going because it helps everything else. It helps our passing game. It helps give confidence to our offensive line. And when you have more confidence, you're going to play better. It also takes a lot of pressure off of our defense. And, it gives them more rest, helps them be fresher for the end of the game. Big thing we need to do. That's why I put it up here as far as game-wise, number one is control early downs. Number 2, or actually number 3, we have to pressure Trevor Lawrence. That hasn't been our strong suit, unfortunately. We have 9 sacks on the year, and Max Crosby has 6 of them. So hasn't been a stellar year. I think Hobbs has 1, Perryman has 1, and someone else along with Chandler Jones has a half. So we haven't been, lighting the world on fire pressure-wise with the quarterbacks. This is why this is so important. Trevor Lawrence, when pressured, will turn over the ball. He's as much as we like to think that Carr's a turnover machine in his career, Trevor Lawrence is a turnover machine. Okay. The Jacksonville in general, they've turned the ball over, 17 times this year. That's a lot, man. 17 turnovers in only 8 games. That's 2 a game. That's a grip. But the issue is we've only forced 5 ourselves. So we're not very good. So it's like, who's going to win the battle of the bad? You're bad at creating turnovers and you're bad at not making turnovers, right? So we have to pressure Trevor Lawrence. We have to force him into bad throws, and we have to take advantage of those bad throws when they're up there. He's going to give you 1 or 2. He's very similar to Justin Herbert in that respect, where he's big, strong, tall, fast, athletic kid with a huge arm, a lot of confidence, but damn it, he's going to give you a couple a game. But you got to take advantage of them, and we have to take advantage of these if you want to have success. Number 4, contain Travis Etienne. Now, 5.6, Josh Jacobs, 5.6 yards a carry. That's legit. That's a good ass year. You're gonna have a good year if you can run for 5.5 yards a carry. Travis Etienne is running at 6.2, over 6 yards a carry. This kid is explosive. He is an explosive talent. I think if he wouldn't have been as good, I'm not sure that the Jags would have moved on and traded James Robinson, but he is. This kid is special. He had that Liz Frank injury in his foot last year, and he was gone for the season. He couldn't get to play his rookie year. This is pretty much his rookie year, and he must have spent last year studying, because he comes in here and he's ready to rock. How do we contain him? Just keep an eye on the backfield, keep an eye on your keys, and be a sure tackler. We have to make sure we keep him from going wild. I know last week Kamara really hurt us running the ball and receiving the ball. Now, Etienne is not a huge threat receiving the ball. I think he has like 8 receptions this year. But if you're going to be a running back and make a lot of receptions on a team, it's going to be against us, because our linebackers and our safeties are not the greatest cover people. So we got to make sure we keep an eye on Travis Etienne. Now, they do have weapons on the outsides. Kirk has the most receptions, but I think it's with 35 or 38, something like that. But, Evan Ingram has 34. Zay Jones has like 32. So they spread the ball out to these guys. So it's like you can't key on any one person in the secondary, but they do want to run a lot of their offense through Travis Etienne, and they're at their best when they can run the ball. He's an explosive kid, and he's someone that we do need to bottle up. Last one, and if you watched any of the tape, you'll see something that was very concerning to me, and maybe you can blame it on an illness to Devonta Adams last week, but he was given quite a few chances on 50-50 balls, one-on-one. He didn't come down with any of them. So we have to make the shots count. So when you say you have to take what the defense gives you, right? A lot of times defenses are going to give you these deep shots, right? And in Kurt Warner's breakdown of our film on that of the last game specifically, he keyed on, I believe it was 3 or 4 different times where Devonta Adams was left one-on-one. And I think it's a pre-snap read. Like if I got Devonta Adams one-on-one, he's just running a 9. He's just going deep, right? And you would think that most of the time going against a rookie corner, Devonta Adams would have a good chance to get those balls. Unfortunately, he didn't connect on any of them. One of them was just a poor throw. It was thrown short when the ball should have gone deep. That's Hall of Famer Kurt Warner's words, not mine. There was one that took Devonta out of bounds. One that was just it wasn't connected on. There was one to Mac Hollins that was thrown too far. There was one to Mac Hollins that wasn't even thrown. There was one to Devonta that wasn't even thrown. When the defense gives you these deep shots, you got to take them and you got to connect. You got to connect on at least 1 or 2 of them to keep that defense honest and to gain big chunk yardage. It's very difficult to inch your way down a football field because there's a lot of athletes on this team, and the more plays you run, the more susceptible you are to turnovers. Now, this season we have been very good on turnovers, just not good at causing them. We've only turned the ball over, I believe, 6 times, 5 interceptions and 1 fumble lost. Consequently, I think that those are all Derek Carr's. But I say that because Jacksonville has forced 12 turnovers. So they're good at forcing turnovers. They just turn the ball over a lot. So their ratio wasn't all that great. Our issue is we don't turn the ball over that much, but we don't cause any turnovers. So when you make those shots count, you put their defense on their heels and you're able to run more of your offense. You're able to make them guess a little bit more. And it's better for you to be able to have better outcomes to drives instead of inching your way up the field. All right, guys, let me know what you think. I wanted to hop on here and give you guys a quick 15 minutes of what I thought about this game. I think we're going to win this game. I think that not coming home, staying out in Florida, and kind of having it a mini training camp and coming out firing, was a good thing for us. This is definitely a winnable game. We are favored by 2 points and on the road, so we should win this game. And if we do, I think we have a good chance of coming back, and because then we get to go home, we get the feast at home, and we have some very winnable games coming up. Last year, the Eagles were 2-5, and they made the playoffs at 9-8. I don't know that 9-8 is going to cut it for us to make the playoffs this year, and especially in the AFC. But it is possible for us to still make the playoffs if we start now. So it's got to be this game. We got to get it done. I put up 5 keys to success. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these keys to success. What do you think we need to do differently? If you have any key successes of your own, let me know down in the comments below. Till next time, guys. Peace.
Congratulations for making it all the way to the end of our video. If you want Darren Waller to catch 20 touchdown passes next season and for Max Crosby to have 30 sacks, go ahead and subscribe and click the next video.